Hello everyone, Vanakkam. This is Priya signing in from Planet Priya. This week, Chinese New Year is celebrated in Singapore. So, to each and every one of you who's celebrating Chinese New Year, Gong Xi Fa Chai. A very happy Chinese New Year to each and every one of you. This week's episode is going to be based on Chinese New Year, the culture, and one of the traditional food of Singapore and China. We're going to talk about that in this particular episode because I want to highlight the speciality of this wonderful, beautiful, colorful, lucky month. So, Chinese New Year is celebrated on the 12th of February 2021 this year, and it's the year of ox. So every year they symbolize an animal for the Chinese New Year. It's also called as a Lunar New Year, or they call it as a Spring Festival. Even though it's winter months in China, they still celebrate it as a start of spring. They have an amazing time. It's just like Indians celebrating Deepavali. They do a big spring cleaning and they do lots of shopping, and they have lots and lots of parties and get-togethers with family and friends. So it's the same, it just symbolizes togetherness. So during Chinese New Year, they always like to wear something in red because red is considered as an auspicious color and it brings good luck to you. So they wear red. And the other thing they do, they eat certain kinds of certain food. One is orange, or they eat orange or mandarins or tangerines too. They bring good luck because of the color. And then the other thing is they distribute or give gifts in small packets, red envelopes, and they are called hangbo. Hangbo are small red packets which has money in them, and they give it to all family and friends. And this is one of the hangbos I've got, but it's always in red because red brings good luck to you. On the New Year's Eve, it's just a family time, so all the family get together and they wait it out for the new year. And they have lots of fireworks, and we have lion dance, dragon dance throughout Singapore. It's very beautiful to watch and very colorful to watch. And as I said, they eat particular food. For example, they would love to eat chicken because chicken symbolizes togetherness and rebirth. And they eat fish, and they toss raw fish with noodles during that season. And that all brings good luck. So they are quite superstitious, and they believe that everything should bring good luck for them throughout this Chinese New Year, throughout the year. So today we're going to highlight on that, and I'm going to make one of the traditional dishes of Singapore. It is a traditional dish of Singapore, but it's originated from China. It's called Hainanese chicken rice. Hainanese chicken rice has descended from the province of Hainan, and they used to cook the chicken in its own broth, that is broil the chicken, and they take the broth out and they cook the chicken with that broth. So the rice is very flavorful. So it's become one of the traditional dishes of Singapore. We're going to cook that. I'm going to show you how to make that traditional chicken rice, and we're going to serve that with 3 different sauces, one with spring onion, one with lots of chilies, and one with sesame oil and soy sauce. But it's very simple to make, but the taste is just awesome. So we're gonna see how we're gonna make this chicken rice in this episode. I'm hoping you'll all enjoy recreating this dish at home with family and enjoy Chinese New Year. Once again, for everyone who's celebrating Chinese New Year, Gong Xi Fa Chai. So here I've taken one Kampong chicken. Kampong means village, so I've taken a village chicken. They're quite tender, so I've taken one full chicken, cleaned it and patted it dry. And I've taken some ginger cut into slices, and the top part of the spring onions. So the bottom part, the other half, you're going to use it for sauces. So the top part, We are gonna cook the chicken first in its own broth with just the ginger, spring onion, but first we're going to season it with a lot of salt because the seasoning is very important for the chicken broth. Before I cook the chicken, if you could just open up the full chicken, you'd be able to see a big blob of fat here. They normally use this fat to cook the rice, so we're going to take this fat out and save it for later. So I'm going to cook the rice with that fat. Can you see the fat here? So this I'm going to save it for later. There's not too much, but I can use it. So that's it. Now the chicken is all ready and we're going to season the chicken. So as I said, season the chicken well. So take some salt and rub it all around the chicken nicely. Give it a nice good massage. It's kind of looking scary, but it's nice. You need to season the chicken well so that the chicken can the salt can get into the chicken. So the chicken is nicely seasoned for now. Alright, the chicken is seasoned now and I've got a big stock pot with water. I'm just going to add this ginger. I'm going to slightly pound the ginger. I'm going to add the pounded ginger and, as I said, just the green part of spring onions inside. So that's it. And then after this I'm gonna add a little salt to the broth. I've seasoned the chicken, but still the broth needs some salt, so just add some salt to the broth. You don't have to adjust the seasoning. I think it should be all right because I've already seasoned the chicken here. And I'm going to gently drop this chicken inside this. And I've added the little bit of this because it's the neck part of it. I wanted a little bit of fat in it, so I'm just going to add that too. Put the cover on and put it on medium flame and let it cook for at least 30 minutes or until the chicken is cooked. It depends on the chicken. After 20 minutes we can check how the chicken is cooked. So the chicken's cooking. Meanwhile, the chicken rice is normally served with 3 sauces. So the first sauce we're going to make is going to be with spring onions, ginger and salt. So that's the first sauce. So let's see. I've just chopped some spring onions and I've grated some ginger too, but I'm just gonna put the spring onion and the ginger together and pound it so that it gives you a nice flavor and all the juices are released. I've chopped it already because it's easier to pound and all the juices release so soon. And then I'm going to add some salt to that. I have a little mortar and pestle, so I'm trying to make as much as possible here. If you have a bigger one, the proper stone ones, you can make a lot of sauces and it's easier to do this. And the fun part is we're going to add some boiling oil. So here I've kept some oil and I'm going to keep it on the flame to warm for some time. So the oil's been warming for some time. So I'm going to pour a little bit of hot oil on top of this onions and ginger so it just can cook instantly. Watch it when you pour. So that. Give it a good stir. That's your first sauce to be served with chicken. That's spring onion and ginger sauce. So for the second sauce, it's a chili sauce, and that gives a real kick to this dish because we are cooking this dish, literally we are boiling the chicken. So the chili sauce and the subtleness of the spring onion sauce, everything gives an amazing kick. So in this, I've taken chopped garlic and chopped bird's eye chili. Bird's eye chili are very strong, so you can adjust according to your taste. I've taken about 4 bird's eye chilies here, red chilies, and some grated ginger, salt, sugar, lemon, we need some lemon juice, And here I've got this hot stock from the chicken which has been boiling for some time now. So that's a clear stock. You could see the fat separating on the stock itself. We're going to pound all this together and then add the stock to it. So can you see I'm pounding it so well. I've added some salt and sugar, just adjust your taste. I've added about 1.5 spoon of sugar and about half a spoon of salt, but as I said, adjust your taste buds. And then I'm gonna give a good squeeze of lemon juice inside. You need to add that chicken stock from the chicken, which is hot. That's your second sauce ready to be served with the chicken. And for the third sauce, we're just gonna use soy sauce and some toasted sesame oil. You get it everywhere. So that's my third sauce. So this gives a saltiness to the chicken with a beautiful glaze of oil too. You could see that. Mix it really well. Chicken's been cooking for about 20 minutes. I'm gonna lift the lid up and check whether the chicken's been cooked. So for that, just take a knife and then poke the chicken slowly. You should be able to see just clear water running out. You should not be able to see any blood running out of it. So there, my chicken is all cooked. And here I've got an ice water bath. I'm going to switch off the chicken now. So just drop some ice cubes in water, and I'm going to drop this chicken straight into that ice cold water because it instantly stops cooking the chicken, and then the juices retain and the chicken is nice and soft. So we're going to just drop the chicken in the ice cold bath now. Okay, now we're going to do that authentic chicken rice indeed. Do you remember I took some fat out of the chicken? I've just added to that fat to a little oil, and I've left it in the pan for some time, so the chicken fat flavors my oil. That's what they traditionally do. But if you really don't want to use that chicken fat, if you don't feel like it, you can omit that and you can just use oil. That's done. And now to this we're gonna add some chopped onion and some chopped garlic. I'm going to fry them nice and golden, and then I've taken stock, the stock which we cook the chicken, so broth which we cook the chicken, the same broth. And here I've taken some Japanese rice. You can take any rice, but here in Singapore it's available, so I've taken some Japanese rice. But any rice, you just cook according to your rice cooker instructions. And I'm going to cook all this in the rice cooker. So let's saute our onion and garlic to cook it a little golden brown because it gives a nice flavor. Nice and golden. There is another way of doing it. If you don't like to get the crunch of this onion and garlic in your rice, you can just take out the oil. You can filter the oil and then use it for the rice, but I like to keep the crunch in it, so I'm going to add that. So we're going to transfer that into a rice cooker pan there. So we can fry the rice as well, but I'm not going to do that either because the rice will be absolutely fine when you cook it. It's got oil in it, so it will make sure the grains stay intact. So that's gone in, and as I said, I'm going to use some stock. So I'm going to take the rice and drop my rice inside now. You can cook it in a normal stove, it doesn't matter, it will cook perfectly fine. I find cooking it in a rice cooker easier, so I'm going to do it in a rice cooker. You could do it in an Instapot, you could do it on the gas, you could do it on a pressure cooker. So cooking rice is entirely up to you. I'm just going to show just the ingredients which is used for cooking rice, that's it. Give it a good little mix. Here I've taken about 2 cups of rice. For this rice, I'm just going to add this amount of stock. Remember to filter the stock, take out all the ginger and all the small pieces of from there, and there it is, and adjust the seasoning accordingly. And these are called pandan leaves. The pandan leaves gives a wonderful flavor to the rice. It's available mostly everywhere in all the supermarkets, in Chinese supermarkets. If you don't find pandan leaf, it's alright, but if you find it, then obviously it gives a wonderful taste. Just take the pandan leaf, a bunch of it, and make a nice knot out of it and drop it in your rice too. Just tuck it in, and my rice is ready to be going into the rice cooker, and as I said, adjust the seasoning. So there you go, the Hainanese, traditional Hainanese chicken rice. That's the chicken which is nicely cut up into pieces, and you can see the sesame oil on the top of the skin. And there is your chicken rice, the traditional chicken rice which is cooked from the broth. It smells divine, and that's the soup. And those are the three sauces we made, one with the chilies and one with the spring onions and the other with soy sauce and sesame oil. So there you go, the traditional Hainanese chicken cuisine, chicken rice served for you. And I'm just gonna tuck in right away now because it looks so delicious. So I'm gonna show you how to eat the chicken rice as well. Hang on.